Hey, so my last video for the morning is about tax-free churches. 501c3 corporations is what they are really called. So Jesus only spoke about the government in terms of what Christians should do about it, how they should relate to it. And the only thing he said was give to Caesar what is Caesar's. And then what do 99.9% of churches in America do? They don't pay taxes. Right. And then so what happens is if someone wants to inject you with a little substance or there's a little sickness going around, they can close your church, and guess what? They own your church because you haven't been paying them taxes. So you can't have it both ways. You got to pay your own way. Paul was a tent maker. Jesus was a carpenter. John, James, they were all fishermen, or Peter. And then, Zacchaeus, and then Matthew, sorry, Luke was a tax collector, or maybe Matthew. But the thing is like all Christians in like the first like 3-4 centuries, like throughout time, like all real Christians have kept a job to support their ministry. The church was not built on this system where like the pastor works once a week for an hour. I mean, are you kidding me? Like, you get all this money from your church and you just give a 20-minute sermon where you use the Bible like for 4 verses and you think you're a man of God. And then these hardcore, Calvinist preachers, they think they're hardcore, and these Baptist preachers, whatever, like any organized, nice looking building church, like they'll talk about how zealous they are for God, and they don't keep the commandments. They believe in the rapture, like they deny the Genesis 6 scenario about the giants. And then, you call them out on their hypocrisy and they get super offended. All of a sudden, you're the one who's judgmental and mean and not loving your brothers. But it's like you're the one who's robbing people just to teach them lies. So, yeah, like if you're in a church that doesn't pay taxes, if you can write off your donations to the church and your taxes, you should leave that church, because the church can sustain itself. It's like when people say that, Jesus built the church on Peter. It's like, no, Jesus built the church on himself. God built the church on himself, and then the church will never fail because it doesn't need tax exemptions to survive. All right. Every church should be forced to pay taxes. And honestly, if every tax-free church in America was destroyed and people were just forced to read the Bible instead, we'd be 1,000 times better off. All right. God bless. Godspeed. Think about this. Really, like, don't be scared to be alone. Like, find people who are like-minded, who actually know the Bible. All right. Bye.